I don't even really have a plan for this. So let's just see if I can get something together. But I'll start with this because I was just watching some shit right before I turned this on, and I saw a quote from somebody, and it said, "Don't take criticism from somebody that you wouldn't ask for advice from." And I thought that was a really good point, and it got me thinking about like social media, people talking shit, and just negative kind of stuff like that. And um, it's been a while since I've really truly been bothered by that. And I don't know how bothered I used to be. I remember when I first started making content, it was like around 2019. I was, I mean, for social media, like I've been making stuff for a very long time. I did motion graphics and I used to edit a lot of videos and stuff like that. And so I'm no stranger to making things, but putting stuff out on social for Machine Studio for the graph shop and the sticker business and stuff. That started, even though I had a Instagram in starting in 2015. I started really making content and videos and stuff in around 2019. And I remember early on, the very first video we ever posted on TikTok. Well, I don't know. If you go all the way to the bottom of our TikTok, it'll be the second video, but it was the first video. I had posted it and it just didn't get pushed out at all. Like it got 0 views, and then I posted another video and that got a few views. So I went back, I deleted the original video and I posted it again. And that video, excuse me, it got like 5 million views. I don't think I passed it. So I think I peaked in 2019. So I don't think I ever passed it, but it just sort of catapulted me right into this whole thing of like shitloads of comments. I think there's tens of thousands of comments on that video, and people talking shit and all this kind of stuff. I was trying to reply to comments, and then eventually it got to be too much, and that was sort of like my sort of introduction to making content, and I kept doing it. I stayed consistent to this day, and I remember from back then. This was like the early days of TikTok. So like a lot of people have trouble going viral there even back then. But like, it seems like once you get an account that has done it, it was, it was like shit was really popping off. So like back then, if I posted something that got under, I think under 100,000 views, I would think that it's not a good video. So I was getting like this skewed perception of like what's good. And so now, like if something goes over 100,000 views and on any platform, I'm pretty happy about it. We still get stuff that goes over 1 million, but that's much more rare than it was back then. And so you have to imagine like the more stuff gets pushed out, the more people come out of the woodwork, and like the shit talkers come out of the woodwork. And so I remember being affected by it. And so I was getting called a toy and stuff. And I was like, man, I haven't been called a toy since I was like first started writing, or you get called names here and there. But it had been a while. And so at first I was like, what the fuck, man? I'm not a toy, or am I? I don't know. I don't think I am. And so, it was bothering me at first. And, it was Gary Vee that was talking about it, and I don't remember exactly what he said. This is quite a long time ago, but he was more along the lines of, "Who gives a fuck what those people say?" And then something he said that kind of changed my perspective. He's like, "I feel bad for those people because they like what kind of person." I don't remember how he said it, but he felt, I don't know if he used the word empathy or sympathy. I don't remember which exactly, but he was basically putting himself in their position. And it was like, what kind of things are going on in someone's life that they can't scroll past something that they don't like without trying to cut the person down. And so that was kind of one of my earlier perspective shifts when I started looking at it like that. And then I don't remember if it was him or somebody else, but they were talking about replying with positivity. So I started just replying with like, "Hey, thanks for stopping by. I hope you're having a great day," even if they're calling me names or talking shit, and so that was helpful. And so it's been a while since it's really bothered me. And like, I would be lying if I said that I'm completely unaffected by it. So like when I'm posting things and somebody says something, you know, kind of trying to tear me down, there's like a little quick, short moment where I'm like, what the fuck? And then I'm over it. And I think it was those things that helped, but I think this kind of thing is perishable. So like if you don't think about not being bothered by this kind of stuff, like it'll probably creep back in. So like if you're one of these people that are actively trying to do things and you got people in your comments that are talking shit, or it could be in your real life, like you know, a lot of entrepreneurs go through this where they go to start a business and like people are making backhanded comments and maybe they don't even mean to do it. Like I remember when I started my business before the graph shop, I started a motion graphics company. And I had planned to do that when I was in school. I was studying graphic design. And I had some friends that had graduated like a couple of years before me. And they had gone on to get these really good, high paying jobs. And I remember at graduation, when I was graduating, all these people were there. And one of those people that had gone on to be successful in working for other companies doing similar things as me, as what I wanted to do. He said, "So what are you gonna do? You gonna I don't remember exactly what it was. Something like, what are you gonna do?" And I was like, "Well, I'm gonna start my own company." And he's like, "Why?" And I was like, "I don't really want to work for somebody else. You know, like I want to do my own thing." And he kind of chuckled and he looked at the ground and he looked back up at me. He's like, "Man, don't be righteous or something. You just go get a job. Don't do all that shit." And I just like didn't even respond. And I was like, in my mind, I was just like, fuck that. Like, I'm going to do this thing, you know? And so it reminds me of kind of like the two ways you can take criticism. And one way is to be discouraged by it. And it's like, oh man, this is a friend of mine. Does he not believe in me? Does he not think I can do this? And he's trying to talk me out of something that I want to do. And for some people that can kind of push you away from your goals and push you away from what you want to do. But for me, it was more like, it kind of hyped me up because I wanted to prove him wrong. Like I wanted to be like, well, yeah, I mean, yeah, it would be one thing to go get a job and maybe that would be an easier path. But I'm going to be really successful and I'm going to prove it to him. And so when I would run into him and he'd be like, "How are things going?" Like in the early days, it was like, "Yeah, you know, still trying to get it going. You know, I'm trying to find clients and all this kind of stuff." And then eventually I was starting to pick up some momentum. And so the conversation changed, you know, it was like, you know, "How are things going?" "Oh man, we're so busy. We're doing all this stuff. We got this show on History Channel we're doing stuff for. We got this show over on Discovery Channel. We're doing all these things." And so it was like, and I don't know if this is petty, but it was like, I was telling him these things and I had that memory in my mind of him basically telling me like, I don't know. I took it like he was saying like, I couldn't do it, you know? And so I'm sitting there telling him like all this stuff that's going on. And, you know, it felt good, you know, but it was a good motivator. I think Andy Frisella talks about it. He said it's like dark side energy. So it's like, if you take the negativity and you let it fuel you and just be like, "Yeah, well, you know, you tell me I can't do something, I'll show you and I'll do it anyway," you know? I don't know if I have that or not, but that was just one occasion that I could remember where I felt like that. And then back to when I was making content, I remember I was constantly second guessing myself and I was having a hard time putting things out because I was so concerned with how the content would be received. Like, is this good? And I'm still like that. Like I still struggle to put out these podcasts and I'm thinking about this shit right now as I record this. I'm like, is this even worth putting out? So that's not gone for sure. 100% it's not gone, but I put it out anyway. And, that's, you know, obviously I don't put these out as much as I would like to. So I guess I got more work to do. But as far as the content on social media and those little videos and stuff, I've I've pretty much gotten over that. Quite most, I don't know. It's probably as far as over it as I'm gonna get. And it's even to the point now where when I put out something, when I finish a video or when I'm making a video and I know it sucks, I'm like, this is really bad. I put it out anyway because I know that there's a lot of people out there that they can't scroll past something they don't like without talking shit. And the more people talk shit, the more reach that video gets. So like some of my worst videos are the highest viewed videos. Like there's one that just, it won't die. And as I was making it, I remember I was super rushed and I had on my list, I got to put out some new content today. So I was trying to do this video and I was like sort of stuttering my way through it. And the shit that I was writing with the marker was really bad. And it wasn't even a good representation of what I was trying to say. It took me way too long to get to the point. And I ended up editing it down to like, I don't know, it was under a minute, but it feels like a 5-minute video because of just like how bad it is. And I put it out anyway, and I was like, I know there's going to be people talking shit. And sure enough, like, there's people just like, I don't know. I mean, I'm sure if I went on my notifications right now, there'd be somebody on there. And I put that video out like months ago. I don't know how many views it has. I think last I checked, it was like over 300,000 views. So it keeps getting pushed out because people come across it and they see it and they're like, what the fuck? And they'll talk some shit. So it's entertaining in some ways. And the first video that I remember doing that was, this was quite a while ago and it was way before this video, but it was like, I had this, I don't know if you've seen, well, I'm sure you've seen them. If you're a writer, if you're not, you may not have, but there's these big tall cans by MTN and it's a collaboration with Crink and has a cap with a big long hose on it. And I'd never even sprayed this. So I'm like, I don't know. I know it's going to be hard to get used to. And this can and cap particularly is known for like reaching up like high spots. So mainly you want to spray either really tall like throwies or tags or something like that, or tags really high up on a building or something. And that's what it's used for. But I didn't want to, get all messy because like when you're spraying up high, all the paint's going to come down. And I was like, man, I don't want to fucking deal with like cleaning up all this paint. So I'm like, I'm just going to do like a big throwy, kind of like 6 feet tall down to the ground. And, you know, so immediately I already knew that a bunch of people are going to come out of the woodwork. That's not what the can's for and all this shit. And then I also knew that I'd never used this can before. So the throwy was probably going to be really bad. And all of those things were true. That was like probably the worst throwy I've done in fucking 15 years. Maybe, I don't even know. It was awful. And so I edited the video and I put it out there and sure enough, like I got a lot of shit for it. And people are talking shit. I had these little kids, like brand new to the scene saying, oh, you need to work on your throwy, bro. I'm like, man, I'm 30 years in. Like, not that I don't need to work on my throwy, but it's like, it's an interesting feeling to have little kids giving you advice, you know. But I don't know. I think that's pretty healthy to put yourself in that position to be able to take that kind of shit. It builds up your armor, you know. So anyway, back to the original quote that we started with was, don't take criticism from somebody you wouldn't ask advice from. And it got me thinking about some of the current shit talkers, and there's a couple people that come to mind. And I was like, would I take advice from those people? And I'm like, fuck no. No fucking chance would I ever ask any of those people anything. So as you're going about your normal everyday life, if you get affected by criticism, I think that's a really good question to ask yourself. Like, would you take advice from that person? Would you take fitness advice from somebody that's never worked out before? Would you take business advice from somebody that's never built a business? Would you take political advice from somebody that only reads the headlines and doesn't go past it, just believes whatever propaganda is put in front of them? Would you believe those people? Would you take criticism from those people? Or not criticism, would you ask their advice? And the answer should be no. I mean, you should ask advice of people that have done things that you want to do. I mean, obviously you can ask advice from anybody, but would you take it seriously? And most of the time, if somebody's talking shit, they're not somebody that you should really be taking advice from anyway. So I hope that's helpful. I say this all the time. I'm going to do my best to try to get more consistent with these things and try to figure out these roadblocks. But excuse me, this one's done and it's out, and I'm just going to live with that, good or bad. All right. Thank you guys. I'll see you next time. All right.
Appreciate each and every one of you guys who are supporting the cause and continue to spread the love. And yeah, stay up.